Hey guys, alright, so we are going to do a Zen Yoga today. This is more relaxation, deep stretching, also incorporating some balance, leg strength poses, flexibility of course, so it's a little bit mixture of everything. It'll be about 45 minutes, so let's get ready. Alright. So you're going to want to start in an Indian style position. You can go ahead and place your hands on your knees. Take a few deep breaths here. Go ahead and close your eyes. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling out of your mouth. Remember to sit up nice and tall here, keeping your shoulders back, your chest nice and open. Feeling your lungs expand. Front and back, side to side. And just remember to keep these nice deep breaths all throughout class today. Go ahead and slowly start rolling your shoulders. Nice big circles here. All the way up to your ears and back around. And go ahead and switch directions. Keeping those nice big circles. And turning your shoulders to neutral. Go ahead and drop your chin down to your chest. Getting a nice stretch into the back of your neck here. And inhale, bringing that chin back up. And on your exhale, dropping your left ear to your left shoulder. You can go ahead and take that right hand, walking your fingertips out to the side, deepening your stretch here, and you can even bring that left hand over to your right ear and pull down to kind of deepen that stretch even more. And inhaling back to center, and on your exhale, dropping your right ear to your right shoulder. Again, you can take that left hand, walk your fingertips out to the side, deepening your stretch. And you can bring that right hand over to your left ear, pulling down to deepen your stretch here. And go ahead and release. We're going to inhale, bringing both arms up, interlacing your fingers at the top and pressing both palms towards the ceiling. And releasing down to the back of your neck, you're going to pull those elbows down to the ground as much as is comfortable. And slowly release, sitting up nice and tall once again. Once more, we're going to inhale, bringing both arms up, and on your exhale, falling straight forward this time. You can go ahead and walk your fingertips out, deepening that stretch here. And inhale, bringing both arms up. And on your exhale, you're going to drop over to the left side. Right palm should be facing the ground here. Right shoulder back. And inhale, returning to center. And on your exhale, dropping over to the right side this time. Again, left palm facing your mat, left shoulder back. And inhale, returning to center. Go ahead and drop both arms down, and then we're going to lay down flat on our backs on your mat. Bringing both heels in close to your bottom. You want your feet about hip width apart. Palms flat on the mat, and we're going to inhale, pressing through your heels up into our glute bridge, squeezing both glutes at the top here. And releasing back down. Go and extend your right leg straight out, pressing through that left heel up, squeezing that left glute at the top. And releasing back down, go ahead and drop your right foot. Then you're going to extend that left leg straight out. Inhale, pressing through our right heel this time, squeezing that right glute. And dropping back down, go ahead and place both feet on the mat. And then we're going to extend our legs straight out in front of us. And inhale, bringing your heels about 6 inches off of your mat. Letting them kind of just hang there. We're warming up our core. And releasing back down. Once more, we're going to inhale, bring both heels up about 6 inches, and then just letting them hover. And releasing back down. Go ahead and sit up. We're going to come into our half boat pose, so bring our heels off of the mat. Holding here, again, we're still warming up our core. And we're going to inhale, opening up to that left side. And to center. And then opening up to that right side. And returning to center, go ahead and drop your feet down, and we're going to come onto all fours. You want your hands directly below your shoulders, about shoulder width apart. Knees are going to be directly below your hips, about hip width apart. You want a nice flat back here, so bring your belly button up towards your spine. Gaze should be down at the mat. And we're going to inhale, bringing our chin up, making a U with our back. And exhale, dropping our chin down, rounding our back up. Again, inhale, chin up. Exhale, rounding that back. You can go ahead and work through the cat-cow at your own breath. Pressing through the palms of your hands to deepen your stretch here. And go ahead and return to neutral, finding that nice flat back again. We're going to extend our right arm straight out, left leg straight back. Pausing here for a couple breaths, working on some spinal balance and core strength. And inhale, bringing both arm and leg up. And on your exhale, connecting that right elbow to your left knee underneath. So inhale, extending out. Exhale, connecting underneath. Once again, feel free to work through this at your own breath. Keeping that core nice, tight, and activated. And returning to neutral, arm and legs still extended. We're going to pulse up. Placing both hand and knee back on the mat. Go ahead and press back into our child's pose. Gaze should be back between your legs here. And inhale, coming out. And just like you're going down into your chaturanga, we're going to lower down to the mat and press back into that child's pose. So again, inhale, coming out. You want to keep your elbows nice and tight here. Exhale down and right back into that child's pose. Again, feel free to work through this at your own breath. Keeping that core nice and tight. And returning into that child's pose. We're going to pop back onto all fours, finding that nice neutral spine again. And go ahead and extend that left arm straight out, right leg straight back. Again, pausing here for a couple breaths. And inhale, bringing both up. And exhale, connecting underneath. Inhale, extending out. Exhale. exhale, connecting underneath. Go ahead and work through this at your own breath. Keeping that nice tight core once again. And returning to neutral, go ahead and pulse up. Placing both hand and knee back on the mat. Go ahead and curl your toes under, pressing up into down dog. And then we're going to walk our feet to the top of your mats, standing up at the front of your mats. And inhale, bringing both arms up. Exhale down. Inhaling back up. Exhale down. Sinking a little bit deeper with each breath here. And we're going to inhale up, bringing both big toes together, and exhale into chair. And coming up onto our tiptoes into elevated chair, maybe. And releasing back down, go ahead and release. And inhaling back up. Exhale into chair. Bringing both hands to center. We're going to twist to that left side, opening up everything to our left. And with that right foot, we're going to go back into a little half lunge, throwing in some balance here. Returning that right foot back, go ahead and release. Once more, we're going to inhale up, exhale into chair. Bringing both hands to center, we're going to twist to that right side. And with our left leg, we'll go back into that half lunge. Returning that left foot back, go ahead and release. And inhale into back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, step or jump back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, bending your knees together. And on your exhale, stepping or jumping back. Again, inhaling into back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step or jump back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, bending those knees together. And on your exhale, stepping or jumping back. We're going to work through this a couple more times. Keeping those nice deep breaths we started with. Keeping that core nice and tight all the way through. Feel free to work through at your own breath. Don't try to keep along with anyone else. Let your body go with how you are feeling, how you are breathing. And on this run through, we're going to go and meet in down dog. Once in down dog, we're going to pedal our feet out, getting a nice stretch into our calves. And inhale, bringing that right foot up. And exhale, bringing it through into our warrior one. Both shoulders should be back here. Right foot should be forward, pointing completely forward. Left foot at a little bit of an angle. And we're placing both hands to the inside of that right foot into our low lunge. And inhale, bringing that right hand up. Opening up to the right, gaze should be up at that right hand. And returning that hand to the mat, we're going to drop our left knee down and shift our hips back. So we're going to give a nice stretch into our right hamstring. You can lean forward into the stretch as much as you'd like. And shifting those hips back forward, we're going to curl those left toes under, pressing up, taking that right hand outside of our right foot. Then we're going to bring our right foot across our body. So your right knee should be a little outside of that right hip. Hip should be nice and squared forward. And we're going to slowly bring that left foot up, grabbing onto it with your left hand if you are able to do so here. If not, just get as close as you can into this. And returning that left foot down to the mat. Go ahead and crawl out and down into your pigeon stretch. As you're holding your pigeon stretch, make sure to take note of how your body feels with your right leg forward here, compared to when we go to the left side. One might be easier, one might be more difficult, just depending on how tight your hip flexors are. And placing both hands back on the mat, we're going to release that right leg back into our down dog. And then go ahead and shift your hips forward into our plank. So finding that nice flat back again, gaze should be down at the mat. Holding that core nice and strong here. We're going to inhale, bringing that left hand up into our side plank. If you need to modify here, drop that right knee down. If you want to make it more challenging, you can bring that left arm over and left leg up as well. So there's different modifications here with our side plank. And returning that left hand to the mat, finding that nice neutral spine. And we're going to inhale, bringing that right hand up. Again, modify or make it more challenging as needed. Returning that right hand to the mat, go ahead and press back into your down dog. And we're going to inhale, bringing that left foot up, and exhale, bringing it through into our warrior one. Again, shoulders back here. And placing both hands to the inside of that left foot this time into our low lunge. And inhale, bringing that left hand up, opening up to that left side. Gaze up at that left hand. Returning that left hand to the mat, go ahead and drop that right knee down, shifting those hips back, getting a nice stretch into our left hamstring this time. Again, you can lean forward into the stretch as much as is comfortable. And shifting your hips back forward, Curling those right toes under, pressing up. Left hand goes outside of our left foot, and then bring our left foot across our body. Again, left knee a little outside of that left hip, hips nice and square forward, and slowly bringing that right foot up, grabbing onto it with your right hand if you can here. Releasing that right foot, back down to the mat. Go ahead and crawl out and down into your pigeon stretch. Like I said, this side might be a little easier or a little more difficult, just depending on how tight your hip flexors are. And placing both hands back on the mat, we're going to release that left foot back into our down dog. And we're going to inhale, bringing that right foot up. And exhale, bringing it through, back into our warrior one. Trying to sink a little bit deeper this time. And warrior two, gaze should be over that right hand here. Dropping that left arm behind our back, right arm's going to come up and over into our reverse warrior, gaze up at the ceiling. Inhaling back into warrior two. We're going to drop that right arm down to that right leg, left arm's coming up and over, left palm facing the ground here. You kind of want to try to make a straight line from your foot all the way up to your fingers. And inhale into warrior two. We're going to straighten that right leg completely out, hinging at the hip forward, and then dropping that right hand down, either all the way to the mat or up on your shin, whichever one you are able to do. Key points here, you want to make sure your shoulders are nice and stacked, chest open, gaze should be up at that left hand. So if you're not able to go down to the mat, make sure you are up on your shin, same thing up there. And inhaling back into warrior two. And then back into our warrior one. Placing both hands on the mat, we're going to release that right foot back into our down dog. Then we're going to shift our hips forward once again into our plank, finding that nice flat back. And inhale, bringing that left foot up into our three-point plank. Keeping that core nice and tight here. And returning that foot to the ground, we're going to inhale, bringing our right foot up this time. And returning that foot to the ground, go ahead and press back into our down dog. And we're going to inhale, bringing that left foot up. And exhale, bringing it through into our warrior one. Again, trying to sink a little bit deeper. I'm going to switch sides here. So I'm facing you guys. And warrior two, gaze should be over that left hand this time. Dropping that right arm behind our back, left arm's going to come up and over into our reverse warrior, gaze up at the ceiling again. Inhaling back into warrior two. We're going to drop that left arm down, right arm comes up and over, again creating that nice straight line here. And inhaling back into warrior two. Go ahead and straighten that left leg completely out. We're going to hinge at the hip forward and drop that left hand down this time. So again on this side, either down on the mat or up on your shin. Just make sure those shoulders are nice and stacked. Chest open, gaze up at that right hand this time. And inhaling back into warrior two. And then back into our warrior one. Placing both hands on the mat. We're going to release that left leg back into our down dog. And then go ahead and walk your feet up to your hands, standing up at the top of your mats. Alright, so next we're going to do a little standing leg strength and balance poses. So for our first one, we're going to take that right foot, placing it across our left knee, and then we're going to come down into a little half squat here. You can close your eyes if you want to make any of these balance poses a little more challenging for you. And on the other hand, if you're having trouble balancing on any of these, find a spot about 7 feet in front of you to focus on. And slowly release from there. We're going to do the same thing on that other side. So grabbing our left foot this time, across our right knee. Once again, coming down into that little half squat here. And slowly release from there. This time we're going to take that right foot again, placing it on our left inner thigh. If you can't get it all the way up there, you can place it on your left calf as well. So once you have it in place, arms are going to be extended overhead into our tree pose. Again, working on some balance here. If you want to make this one more challenging, you can grab your big toe and extend your leg out as well. So that is the progression for the tree pose. And slowly releasing from that side, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So grabbing that left foot, placing it on our right inner thigh, arms extended above once again. If you'd like to make it more difficult, feel free to grab that big toe and extend out. And slowly releasing from there. This next one's a little strange, but we're going to take that right leg, twisting it around your left just as much as is comfortable. So if you can only twist it a little bit, that is fine. And then your arms are going to be twisted up. This is our standing eagle. And slowly release from there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time our left leg wrapping around our right. Again, just as much as is comfortable. And your arms are going to be twisted the opposite way that you just had them. and go ahead and release from there. For this next one, we're going to take your right hand, grabbing onto your right foot. Left arm's going to be extended straight out in front of you, and you're going to slowly pull back on that right foot. As much as is comfortable here, so this is what it looks from a side angle. And pulling back. If you can't go back very far on this one, that is completely okay. This pose in particular takes quite a bit of balance and flexibility. And slowly release. Same thing on that opposite side. Using your left hand, grabbing that left foot, right arm extended out, and slowly pulling back on that left foot. And slowly release from there. We're going to spread our feet a little wider than hip width apart. Toes are kind of pointed out at an angle. Inhale, bringing both arms up. And exhale into a deep squat. Make sure to keep those hips back here, shoulders back. And kind of push against your legs to deepen your stretch into that inner thigh. And slowly release, standing up nice and tall. Keeping those legs spread wide, we're going to go down to that right foot, getting a nice stretch into the whole back side of that right leg. And shifting to the center, we're going to grab onto our elbows and hang here. You can kind of sway side to side, getting a nice stretch into that back. And then shifting over to that left leg, getting a nice stretch into the whole back side of your left leg. And go ahead and release from there, and we're going to take a seat on the mat. We're going to go into some nice deep stretching next. So we're going to start with our hips. This is called the hip 90-90. So you want your right leg in front of you at a 90-degree angle. Left leg is going to come out to the side, 90-degree angle here as well. Key to this stretch, you want everything squared forward, so your hips and your shoulders. Squared forward, you want to kind of puff out your chest, and then you're just going to lean slowly into the stretch. It doesn't take a lot of lean for this stretch to be successful. So don't try to go all the way down. You're stretching your hips out plenty by just leaning a little bit into it. And slowly release, coming out of it. We're going to switch sides, so left leg will be in front of you this time, 90 degrees. Right leg over to the side, 90 degrees. Again, shifted nice and forward. And slowly lean into the stretch. And slowly coming back out of it. We're going to take that right leg, bring it kind of towards ourselves so that our heel is under our bottom. Left leg's going to come over, and then you're going to twist to the left side. So opening up to our left here. And switching sides, we're going to bend that left leg towards us, heel kind of under your bottom, right leg across, and open to your right side. And go ahead and release, and we're going to go back onto all fours. And this time on all fours, we're going to turn our wrists so that our fingers are pointing towards us, getting a nice stretch into both wrists here. People always forget to stretch out their wrists, but it is very important to stretch those, especially if you have a job that you're sitting at a desk typing all day. Your wrists need just as much stretching as anything else, and people tend to forget about them. Rotating those hands back around, we're going to press back into child's pose. And this time we're going to walk both hands over to the left side until you kind of hit your end range of motion, until you really can't go anymore, and then you're just going to hold there. And then we're going to walk them all the way to the right side. Same thing, once you hit that end range, you can't really go anymore, just hold. And walking them back to center. We're going to take that right arm, looping it under your left arm. Right palm should be facing up. We're getting a nice stretch into that right shoulder. Returning that right hand out, same thing with that left side, looping that left arm under, left palm up, getting a nice stretch into that left shoulder. And returning that left arm back. We're going to lay down flat on our stomachs. First, we're going to have both arms and legs extended out. And we're going to inhale, bringing both arms and both legs up, squeezing at the top here, and hold. Releasing back down. We're going to bring both hands in kind of close to your shoulders, shoulders up off your mat, getting a nice stretch into your back here. This is called the Sphinx pose. Then we're going to widen our legs a little wider than that width apart, and you're going to press through the palms of your hands up into our seal. And on this one, you want to look up at the ceiling. So here we're deepening our stretch into our back. Releasing back down to our mat. For this next one, we're going to grab onto both feet with our hands, and then you're going to kind of use your feet to press against your hands, bringing your shoulders up into our bow pose. So this is very important to open up our chest here. And releasing back down to the mat. Go ahead and roll over onto your backs. And we're going to bring both knees up towards our chest, grabbing onto our knees with our hands. And then you're going to sway side to side, so left to right, giving a nice massage to your spine. You can kind of lower your knees down to reach that lower spine, bringing those knees up to hit that upper spine. And letting both legs drop to the right side. Arms are going to be extended at your sides, and your gaze is going to be over your left hand for this one. And inhale, bringing them back up. And exhale, dropping them to the left side. This time, gaze over your right hand. And inhale, bringing them back to center. And on your exhale, you're going to release your legs down and find a comfortable position for your Savasana. So when you're in your Savasana pose, most of the time you have your arms in front of you, palms either up or down, whichever you prefer. This is where you get to let your body go into complete relaxation. So any tension in any of your muscles, you just let subside. Go ahead and close your eyes here. Keeping those nice deep breaths we started class with. And just letting your body go into complete relaxation. And you guys can stay in your corpse or Savasana pose for however long you want. Then when you're ready to come out of it, coming out and returning to the position we started class with. Normally I let them lay in their Savasana pose from 2 to 3 minutes. That's a good time to kind of let your body completely relax, all your muscles relax, and then we end the class. Namaste. So that's an example of a Zen type yoga, kind of working the muscles, doing some deep stretching. Sometimes at the end we'll go into a little meditation as well. Sorry if I was messing with my phone. I didn't want the music to be louder than my voice, but I do pull up Spotify, and there's some deep relaxation and meditation music on there. I listen to deep meditation and yoga, I think is what it's called. So that kind of just sets the mood, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you want me to do any other faster types of yoga, more of a flow yoga, anything like that. I would be happy to do it. Thank you. Have fun.